Peter Murrell has been branded a thieving magpie, as political rivals blasted Nicola Sturgeon's claims she knew nothing about her estranged husband's £400,000 fraud. Ex-SNP Chief Executive Murrell was locked up today after he admitted to embezzling huge amounts of cash from party funds. Murrell was alleged to have used the cash to buy items including cars, a motorhome, luxury goods, shoes, cosmetics, and jewellery over a 12-and-a-half-year period. The charges include allegedly embezzling nearly £160,000 to buy goods for himself or others from 82 luxury brands, while his now former partner, Nicola Sturgeon, was First Minister. Former Nats leader Ms Sturgeon released a statement shortly after his conviction on Monday and claimed that she had no knowledge, knowing he had been using party funds for his own personal use. In her statement, Ms Sturgeon also said, "My reaction to the guilty plea tendered today by my former husband is difficult to put into words. I am angry, hurt, sad, and very distressed about the impact of his actions on family, friends, and the SNP. To be deceived and let down by a husband I loved and trusted has caused me acute pain. Why he acted as he did is, and always will be, beyond my comprehension. To be clear, I had no knowledge or suspicion whatsoever that he was using SNP funds for personal purposes. I'm utterly appalled that he did so, and cannot begin to understand why. That I was fully cleared after a thorough investigation underlines that these are not my crimes. I was misled just as others were. I know that there will be political discussion in light of what has happened, and I understand why. However, for me, this has also been a profound personal trauma. I need to remain focused on recovering from that and building a new phase of life. I will be making no further comment. But political rivals have slammed the former SNP leader and claim that Murrell took the cash right under her nose. Scottish Conservative leader Russell Findlay said, "Peter Murrell has finally taken the rap for being a thieving magpie, but he used vast sums of the stolen cash to feather the marital nest he shared with Nicola Sturgeon. His crime spree took place right under her nose over many years while they jointly held a vice-like grip on the SNP. You would need to be a particularly gullible member of Nicola Sturgeon's fan club to swallow her preposterous protestations of ignorance about her husband's criminal racket." Scottish Labour Deputy Leader Jackie Baillie said, "After years of investigations, millions of pounds of public money and one conveniently timed election, Peter Murrell has finally had to own up to his crimes. This bombshell plea does not put the issue to bed. Far from it. It is inconceivable that Nicola Sturgeon knew nothing about the large-scale fraud taking place under her nose in both her party and her home. It was Nicola Sturgeon and the SNP party machine that attempted to close ranks and shut down scrutiny when questions about the finances started to emerge, and we need to know why." Assistant Chief Constable Stuart Houston, who had oversight of Operation Branch Forum, said this was a lengthy and extremely complex case.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Assistant Chief Constable Stuart Houston, and I had oversight of Operation Branch Forum, Police Scotland's investigation into the embezzlement of funds from the Scottish National Party. This was a lengthy and extremely complex case due to the scale of the criminality over a 12-year period and the lengths Peter Murrell went to try and cover his tracks. I commend the professionalism and absolute dedication of the Operation Branch Forum team, who spent more than 4 years carrying out extensive inquiries across Europe to unpick Murrell's offending. All of this work, in close partnership with colleagues from the Crown Office and Procurator Fiscal Service, was carried out under the most intense public scrutiny, and it was their commitment to gathering such detailed and compelling evidence that brought us to the High Court today. This is without doubt one of the most high-profile investigations in recent times, and it is testimony to the work of Police Scotland officers that has led to Peter Murrell's admission of guilt early in the court process. I would also like to thank the many witnesses who came forward to provide us with statements as we built the case against Peter Murrell. Their engagement with us was vital. Peter Murrell has shown utter contempt for the high public trust placed in him as the chief executive of a political party and his position in the wider political establishment in Scotland for many years. He abused his privileged position with access to Scottish National Party funds to divert cash into his own accounts and bankroll the lavish lifestyle he craved but could not afford. From 2010 to 2022, he spent hundreds of thousands of pounds on luxury goods while carefully trying to hide his criminality with false receipts and accounting. He must now face the consequences of his actions. Thank you.
Today, First Minister and leader of the SNP, John Swinney, spoke at a press conference in Edinburgh.
Peter Murrell has today pleaded guilty to embezzlement from the Scottish National Party. I'm here today in my capacity as party leader to give reaction to that guilty plea. I'm conscious that the Contempt of Court Act 1981 continues to apply until Peter Murrell is sentenced. As an individual who believes strongly in the centrality of the rule of law, that provision has given me particular pause for thought in what I should say and do today. However, given that the Scottish National Party is the victim in this case, I think it is in the public interest for me to say what I can today. I'll make a brief opening statement and then I will open up to questions. Peter Murrell's guilty plea confirms that the Scottish National Party has been the victim of embezzlement of hundreds of thousands of pounds of funds provided by SNP members. This is an admission of a terrible breach of trust and an overwhelming betrayal by the man entrusted to be the party's chief executive. Today, I share the overwhelming anger felt by SNP members. I joined this party almost 50 years ago. In that time, I've campaigned alongside thousands of dedicated SNP activists. They've worked hard to raise funds for this party. They campaigned tirelessly to deliver electoral success, and they have helped us become the party of government. Those are the people in my thoughts when I talk about betrayal. By embezzling from the SNP, Peter Murrell was stealing the hopes, the dreams and the aspirations of thousands of people all over Scotland, people who gave what they could over many years in the hope that it would help contribute to a better country. So today, I am horrified. I am betrayed. But I'm also resolute about the future. I returned to the SNP leadership 2 years ago because I could see that the party that I loved was not in the best place. I promised that we would get back on track. A key part of that has been the process to strengthen our governance structures and our party finances. That has been an ongoing process over a number of years. The party now has a modernised backroom operation which, as we saw in the election result, is highly effective at supporting campaigning around the country. The SNP is resolutely focused on the priorities of the people of Scotland, and our new government is hitting the ground running. We are the party on Scotland's side. We are taking action on the cost of living, improving our NHS, and we are determined more than ever to lead Scotland to a brighter, independent future.